This is the Paltalk News Network.
The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users. On demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not, no retribution. And thanks to our great friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. I remind you that you should be going to paltalknewsnetwork.com early and often, just like voting in Chicago, to check for stories that you may or may not see, hear, or read in the mainstream media. We have a piece there today about John Conyers, the head of the House Judiciary Committee, vowing to hold hearings on the attorneys with the Justice Department who advised the President of the United States then, George W. Bush, that it was okay to waterboard and to use enhanced interrogation devices, techniques against suspected terrorists. Since when is an attorney held culpable for giving advice to his or her client? I don't understand this, John Conyers, my friend. I really don't. He was asked, or they were asked, these two attorneys, to respond to a request from the President of the United States whether or not such techniques were legal. And they said that in their concerted opinion, after reading the request from the President, that it was legal. Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? Haul them before Congress and embarrass them because you didn't like the legal opinion that they gave the President of the United States, which led him to begin a practice with which you disagree? I'm not in favor of waterboarding or quote-unquote enhanced interrogation techniques. My belief is, as it was that of the FBI counterterrorism agent who we had on here about 1.5 years ago, that such techniques only cause for people to tell you what they think you want to hear in order to get you to stop. But that doesn't mean because the attorneys answered forthrightly and honestly what they believed in their legal opinion was a legal path to go, that you now bring them before the Congress to embarrass them over it. If you had balls, you would have stepped in and stopped it when it was going on under the Bush administration in your role as overseer, because that is your role in Congress. There's a balance of power here. But to go after the messenger is absolutely ridiculous. Massachusetts is the latest state to run out of unemployment funds. There are too many people who are unemployed and not enough funds to go around. But that's okay. For those of you who are opposed to socialized medicine and socialize this and socialize that, don't feel bad for the people who are in states where they're running out of the money. There's a video game out already where in order to win, get this, you have to fill your gas tank up, pour the gas over your house, light your house on fire, get in your plane, fly your plane, and crash into an IRS building. I'm not kidding you. Interesting turnabout in St. Petersburg, Florida. The St. Petersburg Times, which is a crusading newspaper that still believes in investigative reporting, has been investigating Scientology. Well, Scientology hired 3 respected, highly credentialed, and awarded investigative journalists to investigate the St. Petersburg Times. The St. Petersburg Times says, we're not going to cooperate in your investigation because the three are on the payroll of Scientology. And the three say, no, don't worry. It's going to be an independent and fair evaluation of your newspaper. Don't know about that one. I can understand the reticence of the St. Petersburg Times to cooperate. On the other hand, it's pretty interesting that Scientology would use the tactics employed by the news media against the news media. Very interesting. I've never heard of that ever happening before. Two stories of very important interest for you, ladies and gentlemen. Zajibullah Zazi pled guilty today in federal district court here in New York to 3 terrorism charges. Conspiracy to use weapons of mass destruction, explosive bombs, against persons or property in the United States, conspiracy to commit murder in a foreign country, and providing material support to Al-Qaeda. He admitted, among other things, that he brought TATP explosives to New York on September the 10th, 2009, the eve of the anniversary of the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, as part of a plan to attack the New York subway system. Basically, a couple days before, or a couple days after, the FBI arrested him, charging him with knowingly and willfully making false statements to the FBI. Listen, let me just tell you this right now. I'm not an attorney, but I'm going to give you a bit of legal advice. Don't lie to the feds. If you don't want to talk, lawyer up and let your attorney be your mouthpiece. The FBI, the IRS, the Securities and Exchange Commission, as Martha Stewart has found, can lie to you, but if you lie to them, that is a felony. You're going to go to prison. Anyways, basically, he admitted coming to New York City. He had gone to Pakistan to hook up with the Taliban, along with some other fellas, to fight the coalition, the NATO forces in Afghanistan, mainly the U.S. forces in Afghanistan. He's an Afghani-American, Zazi. And while he was there, he hooked up with Al-Qaeda, and Al-Qaeda trained him in explosives, and they gave him information on how to build an explosive device that could be used against the subway system in New York. Well, he took his notes and then he emailed them to himself so that when he returned to the United States, and now he's living in Colorado, he could look at those notes and figure out how to put the bomb together. Then he drove cross country to New York City to meet up with these other guys, and they were going to